Hi, and welcome to Purposeful Woman podcast. In today's episode, we have Amy Wallace. She is currently thrives as a relationship coach and international speaker. After having twins at 18, Amy discovered that she was afflicted with a stage 4 Hodgkin's disease. After being given 3 months to get her affairs in order, this event was determining factor in her unflattering pursuit to truly live her life. Now, 27 years later, Amy uses this triumph as fuel to inspire others to overcome adversity. Amy understands the healing power of joy and love and eagerly immerses herself in the life of her clients. Hi, and welcome, Amy.
Hi, thank you for having me. I really appreciate being here.
But we too, we would love to know what led you to this work.
So, kind of as the story goes, this whole work started for me 27 years ago when I was diagnosed with cancer. I'll tell you a little bit about that journey because that's really what led me here. So, I was diagnosed with stage 4 Hodgkin's disease, as you mentioned, and basically the doctors gave me 3 months to live. We went through several doctors, what looked like a golf ball sitting on top of my collarbone. When they went to biopsy that, it was actually the size of a grapefruit. So when they opened that up, they noticed that my chest was completely full of cancer. The tumors were quite large and in my entire lymphatic system. So it took about 7 doctors before we found one that would agree to treat my cancer. So Dr. Morgan was amazing. He said, not only will I treat you, but I will get in this fight with you, and together we will heal your body. So he taught me from the very beginning that my attitude and my approach to living had a lot to do with whether I would live or die. And I was 20 and I didn't quite understand that. I had twin daughters that were a year old. So I was a single mom at a very young age with a diagnosis that was very bleak. So I was a little angry and irritated and determined to live, but also scared. I wore this happy face all the time because my family was also quite afraid of the diagnosis. But I would live in the closet. So I would go to the closet to express my fears, to cry and to do that. And so I did that for the first maybe 4 months of treatment. And then I decided one day that I was just going to give up, that maybe what was right for my life was to not fight this fight. So I went to Dr. Morgan and I kind of told him that's what I want to do. And he said, well, let me give you some other things to think about, and sent me home. So when he sent me home that day, I began praying. And I had always been, like raised in church, a good little Christian girl. And I was a timid prayer. So when I would pray, I was always very sweet in my approach, thinking that that's how I would get what I wanted. But this particular day, I remember I prayed very differently. I was really angry, and it was more like, all right, God, tell me what to do. Like, I don't want any soft whispers. I don't want any gentle breezes in the wind. I need a very loud, undeniable message. Make it clear, make it loud, tell me what to do. And at that time, I was laying on the couch and my girls were sitting shoulder to shoulder like this on the floor watching Winnie the Pooh, which is something that they did every single day. That song, Pooh Bear, Winnie the Pooh Bear, it's forever burned in my brain. So they were watching Winnie the Pooh and I'm praying. I'm just asking for a sign. And about that time, right at that time, those 2 girls, without making a sound, just turned around and looked at me, and they looked into my soul, like in complete silence. And I felt the earth just get still and the air separate. And I had the most deafening silence, just the loudest, clearest sign that there ever was that, yeah, of course I was going to fight this fight, and I was going to live this life, and I was going to be their mother. I'd asked the question, was this fight one I was meant to fight? I was open to receive the answer, which I received. And then small little miracles started showing up for me at that time. And so someone gifted me Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life. And I don't know if you're familiar with that book, but it's amazing work. And so I went through
Yes,
every
brilliant.
exercise. I did every affirmation. I mean, I really learned how to love myself And mirror work for me was really tricky. I mean, Louise has everyone do mirror work right away. And that was really tricky for me, but I did it. And I did it until I believed it. And yeah, so it was in that moment that I switched from surviving cancer to living my life. And so that's my mission. That is my mission in life, is to be that point of inspiration for other people so that they can transition from a life that they're surviving, even if it's just from appointment to appointment and commitment to a commitment, to really living their life, really tasting their food, really experiencing being alive. So that's why I'm here.
And how did you start on relationship coaching?
So I'm also a professional wedding officiant. And so I'm a super lover of love. I'm just a sucker for a good love story. So I love to create love story ceremonies. And so I've been doing that. And I noticed that these couples were very excited and very invested in their weddings, but they were neglecting their relationship in that time. So I started doing premarital coaching, which turned into postmarital coaching, which turned into relationship coaching, because it'll take you right back to Louise Hay's book. In that book, she teaches you that every issue that you have in life is an issue that you have within yourself. So every relationship is a mirror of the relationship you have within yourself. And so if I can get them to see that, if I can get couples to see that and to see each other as perfectly imperfect humans and to love the love of one another, then their relationships will just flourish and grow. And so that's how
I love that. That is such a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing. You're such a strong and powerful soul. What will be, on your opinion, one mistake that you started your coaching business, or yes, when you started your coaching business, that you wish you could avoid it? Not that we regret it, but
oh gosh, there are a couple of those. But one that sticks out for me is waiting to have it all together and be perfect, to have everything perfectly packaged before I launched, is probably the biggest mistake. It just stalled my progress, because there is no perfect, right? I'm already perfect just the way I am. So really what the world is looking for is the gift that I have to offer, and I don't have to work that and rework that until I forget what I have. And so that's what I did. I just thought I had to have it perfect.
Absolutely. So what will be the one advice that you will give our listeners today?
To just really sit with the magic of who you are right now. You are already magical and perfect. You are already exactly who you are meant to be. I don't know what happened. I got a flash. You're already magical and perfect just as you are right now. So my one advice is to stop looking outside of yourself for the answers that lie within.
Oh, beautiful. And that led us perfectly to our last question is, I want you to fill in the blank in the sentence. If you really knew me, you will know that I am blank.
Scared and doing it anyway.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love it. Scared and do it anyway. No perfectionist here.
Right.
All right. So how listeners can find you? What are you sharing with us today?
So you can find me on my website, amyswallace.com. That's probably the easiest way to find me. You can also find me on Facebook, also Amy S. Wallace. And I am going to, are you asking what gift I'm going to give today?
Yes.
Okay. I want to gift a one-on-one session. It'll be a 90-minute session. We will find one pain point or one thing that you want to change for 2021, and we will work around that, create very personalized affirmations and questions of possibility.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amy. Thank you for watching and tuning into this episode, and I'll see you tomorrow. And don't forget, as always, text Hey Podcast to +1 401 399 4105. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. And if you love this episode and you would love to see more of that, click the subscribe button to Purposeful Woman Podcast. And don't forget to text us to stay in tune with the Purposeful community for awesome tricks by texting to number +1 401 399 4105, and we will link descriptions in the episode to all of that we mentioned today. Bye, turn your one day to day one with a purposeful day.